Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real. Real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all host, Sue J.
I was vibing out with my girls. Hey guys, it is Aspire Podcast. It's your host Jay, and I'm gonna let everybody individually introduce themselves. So go ahead. We're gonna start with Jennifer. Go ahead, Jennifer.
My name is Jennifer Mitchell.
Oh,
I'm very excited to be here.
She may have been. I don't know what you do now, but you may have lost your calling. You have missed it. Okay, that sexy voice got me a little flustered.
I'm a little, anyway. Hi. I'm back. My name is Devonna Gaines.
Resident
co-host,
everything.
guest. I haven't been here in a while, so I missed you.
I missed you too. Last season, right?
Last season. So this is my first one back. So hey, everybody.
Okay. Who is this lovely lady?
Hi, I'm Umani.
She said Umani. Okay.
Money Bunny for short.
For sure.
The longest short.
I was like, isn't it longer? Okay. Listen, we have a jam-packed, I want to have like open conversations. So yes, I'm asking the questions and stuff, but communicate with me, ladies, because it's literally girls' night on the show. Okay.
I
we
like
got some wine,
it.
we got some snacks. So I'm
Go
going to
ahead
get
and
it
sip on my
started.
wine.
Don't get yourself in trouble, Devonna. We just
You
starting
already
the
know
show.
how I be. So
This is...
you have been warned.
She's warning people. Listen,
Okay.
I have no control over my guests, people. Today is we just wild.
Yeah.
All right, women's empowerment, and what does that mean to us? What does it mean to us? What does it mean to you guys? I want to hear from y'all, because I know what it means to me, but go ahead. Whoever wants to start.
Well, for me, it's always uplifting. It's always trying to be positive. And even in the moment of negativity, remembering what it is that is the goal, I guess, and helping them remember the goal. So that's always what empowerment is to me.
Like helping the other person, or even in this group of women, remember why we were here. Remember
what's the purpose?
What
Why are we
we
here?
about. Exactly. I like that. Okay. You agree?
I
Miss Diva?
agree. I agree, because it's not, and we have to always remember there's not always positivity, right? We are all
Correct.
human.
Yeah.
So we don't always emit the best energy towards
That's
other
not a lie.
women,
We got hormones, people. Hormones.
Correct. But at the end of the day,
Yes.
especially with me, and I'm going to be personal, I want all my girls to win. I am the biggest cheerleader for all of the women in my life, just like they are for me. So I think that's what empowerment means. Even if it's not you personally, even if they're not directly attached to it, you still want the best for your people as a whole. That's what that means.
What you got, Jennifer?
Well, I'm going to take that and say empowerment is definitely key, because I love actually being positive for other women, making sure that we are there for other women in time of need, if they need us to have a shoulder to cry on, something, we're there, staying positive. I do agree with that. But also motivating them to do other things, so outside of just the norm,
I agree with everything. I think for me, add that it is, I read something where it's like, if I love you and I have your back, I wouldn't let you be your mediocre self, right? And I don't have no mediocre friends. So I'm going to let you see, or I'm going to help you see what you may lack, what you may not see in yourself, so that you can get better, so that you can be your best self. But I'm over here clapping. Listen, Devonna makes cakes. Oh, we eating all the cakes. Like, Umani with her glasses. Like, we are celebrating everything, right? But it really is like just Like I love being like, girl, you look fabulous.
Yes.
Random strangers too, like it gets me in trouble because they think I'm gay, but it does. It has
We're not
gotten
even
me
going
in
to talk
trouble.
about you in the booty comments, but we're going to keep that.
Because if you got a big booty, congratulations. If you have a beautiful smile,
I feel like that's how I
congratulations,
met
right?
you.
But that's me. Like that's just my genuine self. Like
Right.
empowerment equals. It's not like better than or less than. It equals. You are not competing with your damn people. Women empowerment is we are not competing. I am celebrating your win, even if I'm not winning. Even if my time to win is years later, I'm still making sure that you know that I love you and I'm supporting you.
Right.
whatever that is.
That also includes tough love sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
sometimes you gotta tell them
Because-
about themselves.
you know me. I'm gonna tell you, and I expect, and my friends tell me when I'm acting stupid. Okay, like, you know, recently,
I would be like, girl.
like, girl, what was wrong with you? You know, I'm gonna need that because you know I don't want my friends have me out there looking stupid. You know, we've all seen it where we go out and there's this one girl that you looking like, and what's the first thing you say? Oh, she ain't got no friends.
Because your friends
Because your friends would never let you walk out the house looking like that,
actual They were never
right?
your
How many
friends.
times have we
Yeah.
said that?
They were your friends.
So
say it all the time.
that's
Your friend
also
don't do that.
empowerment. I want you to tell me, girl, your thighs ain't looking right in this dress. Go take this off and put something else on.
Girl, that decision you made about that guy, I love you. I'm gonna still love you, even though you went
I
to
support
sorry
you.
ass, you know.
I don't like
My
what you
friend
doing.
supported me doing my stupid.
Yeah, she went a little stupid.
I
but
went
we
a
got
little
through it.
stupid.
We got through
We
it.
got
We
through
made
it.
We made it through, but
A lot stupid.
but it happens.
But it happens.
And sometimes
everybody.
as empowering other women is fighting for them because that's how I felt. On your
Yes,
behalf.
let me tell you, I love my girls. Okay, so Jennifer is related to me, in-law related to me, but these two girls are like my sisters, right? Let me tell you,
I will fight you.
when
for
that
my
dude was
baby
acting
girl.
crazy, they was ready to
the
fight more than I was.
I'm the friend.
Yeah.
And I love them for that.
know, right?
This one cursed them out. This one cursed them out. This one says, what did you say, you money? I reject your hug. It was hilarious.
We ain't hugging no fake person, right?
She is not fake at all. And I love that about her because she will keep it 100% real, even when I'm not there. I know that y'all.
But that's
will.
empowerment too for me.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Is you may not be in the room. We're not talking bad about you. We're gonna celebrate you and have your back because
Right.
that's more important. I don't care what you say in front of my face. Half the time, I don't have that in my circle right now. But half the time in my past, if you were doing it in my face and you were smiling extra, you were really not doing that when I wasn't
Correct.
there. So I don't need it to be in my face. I don't need to know that you even did it. It's just knowing that my girl's got my back no matter what, and vice versa.
Because I
That's
will fight
empowerment.
over my girl. I will fight.
She has said some things.
I said some things.
Love that.
Listen, it's
I'm not necessarily proud of the things that I've said,
but why not?
but they've been
At
said.
the end of the day, it may not have come off tactful,
Tact is not. I don't have tact.
but the coof was missing.
Coof.
But it was
What's that?
real. You had my back, and I took it as that. You know what I mean?
Because I was ready to get.
She,
And I told him to his face. I told.
I can't tell
We're
it.
not
right
gonna
now.
tell it,
I can't
but
tell
I
it
told
right
him to his face how stupid he was. I love you now. You know who I'm talking about.
now. Hey, can I eat my pretzel?
I love you now. But
ask
when he
later.
was acting stupid, I told him because he
Whoever
made
we
my
talking
girl feel a certain kind of way.
Whoever
So
we
when-
talking about, I'm asking later.
Yeah, I'll fill you in.
No.
But
Jeez.
and you've met him. So my thing is,
You know.
don't F with my girls, right?
same.
Don't F with my girls whether you're in my face or not. But I'm gonna let whoever does that, I'm gonna defend y'all to the end because that's what y'all would do for me.
But accountability is real too.
And now again, I told her when she just like she told me when I was little.
Exactly.
And,
Gotta
and
be
the other
real.
day when I had a conversation with you and you were like, I appreciate the accountability.
Yes.
Because one thing I do is mess up a lot. Like I'm a mess up. We all mess up. But if I know that I messed up And sometimes it takes me a day or two where I sit on things and I won't speak on it. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't speak on it. I kind of was included in the mess up. So why would I go ahead and be like, look what happened to me? No, I'm not that
I'll be
woman
like,
either.
what
I
did
will
you
never.
do?
Yeah.
Right?
No, I will own my shit. But
And
I
that's
need my
rare for
friends
women.
to.
And a lot of men think that, and men think that women aren't accountable to their actions. And
Yep.
we are a testament to
For
say
sure, 'cause
we do. Because I even told you where I messed up or where I was accountable into whatever happened. I've told you this as well. So
You have
it
to-
happens, but we also have to be in a safe space to want to be accountable without it being thrown back in our face.
And I do want my friends to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Like, you better tell me, girl, you were dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
And I may not always agree with you, but most times I am. Most times I will sit there and think of where you're coming from, what are you really saying? Because a lot of people are so defensive. I'm not a friend for everyone. I'm not a friend if you are working on yourself and you don't want to hold yourself accountable. I am not your friend. I'm not your friend because I will be like, girl, but you messed up.
I love you, but
That was
you
not,
know.
and I'm sure I've lost friends. I feel like I haven't lost a friend. Let's keep it real.
Because
I
she
haven't
wasn't.
lost friends.
She wasn't.
But I haven't. But when people go away, it really, like, I think about it and I'm like, yo, like, was I harsh? I'll hold myself accountable. But if I did something or if I said something that was to hold you to a higher standard, then you're welcome. I'm so sorry, but you are welcome.
I love that.
Because I would want the same for me. I would want you to do the same for me. Tough love sometimes is better than regular, I love you, girl. Tough love, picking you up off that floor, but still telling you, girl, you were dirty because you were dirty.
I'm
'Cause
not
you
that
chose
yes
these
friend.
things.
You can't be the yes friend.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. Let's keep going, ladies. I love this.
I love it.
Living up to society's standards.
So standards as far as what?
Everything. We can talk about body. We can talk about mentality. We can talk about education, career, because at the end of the day, this is the list of things that we are told we need to be
Right.
to be a woman. But hell, I want to be like, fuck no.
You're not a
Yes.
woman if you're not a woman if you're not a mother.
Yes.
That kind of
yes,
thing,
all
right?
of the things
The
that
standards of
society
that,
tells
yeah.
us you're not, or you didn't fulfill what you should have as a woman because you didn't do the X, Y, and Z. I did X, Y, and Z, and X, Y, and Z failed me. So
Yeah.
it isn't like a regular thing. Also, we have to look a certain way. So I love that you guys are all brown ladies, different shapes, different sizes. You know why? Because society tells us one thing is prettier than the other. Even me in my, I'm Hispanic. Ish. I'm a mixed girl, but like, you know what I mean? That I'm Hispanic and then I'm not Hispanic enough or I'm not even something enough. We get told all these different things because a woman should do X, Y, and Z. A woman should cater. In my culture and in a lot of like my family, it's like you have to cater. Like if you're not catering enough, and I'm a good woman and I'll cater to you, but I am also a working woman, a mom. I want to have goals, and a lot of my people, and I can say it for myself, goals, but you're supposed to be supporting your man, and you're not supposed to have like you should be at home by 5 o'clock, and you should be
Especially
doing X.
after you have a child.
Yes, and I had
Yeah.
two.
You know,
How dare you go out to the club on a Saturday night? Where's your child? You know?
And where's your husband? And where's your man? And where's your this? And it's like, I know listen, I read this quote and I was like, yes, nobody can gaslight me into thinking I'm a bad person or a bad woman. I know who I am.
Yeah.
Do I have flaws? 100,000,000 infinity flaws. I know I have them.
Right.
But it's like I still know I'm a good woman at the end of the day. Not a mother-in-law, nobody's gonna tell me I'm a bad woman. But what I am is non-conforming. Like just because you told me this is what I should be, this cup is red, I want to be a blue damn cup. And I'm gonna be it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what does it mean to you guys? How do you feel? Have you guys had issues where because I haven't got bullied online, and I think, listen, please, y'all don't start, because I ain't got no time for it. I don't. But I once was told, like, oh, I'm so surprised that you don't get shit. Oh, you come off so positive. No, I don't come off so positive. This is who I am, right?
Right.
But it was like, I felt like that person was being a hater to, like, what do you mean I don't get hate online? Why? Are you sure you want to start that podcast? I don't know. You're going to get criticized for what? And
Oh, people find things to
Yeah,
criticize you about all the time.
absolutely,
Yeah.
but then I'm not
But-
going to do anything in life
Exactly.
if I get criticized as a woman, right?
Exactly. So you can't let those like you say, you're not gonna gaslight me into thinking I'm something I'm not.
Yes.
No, ma'am.
You know, unfortunately it happens.
Yes.
And if you're a person that is prone to be affected by what other people think, then you have to do what's best for you to protect yourself from that.
I agree with that.
You know, like if you're on social media
Yes.
and you know that the comments are going to bother you, why are you looking at the comments?
Correct.
Because now you're triggering yourself.
Oh, that's accountability.
That's the accountability part of it, right?
And then, do you guys think in today's world, using sexuality as a woman is also deemed like holy shit? And I don't mean like selling it, like being out there in these streets or half naked online, but like just being okay and into
Being a
with
sexual
your
being.
correct.
Being in tune with your sexuality and comfortable with it, that's almost intimidating to everyone.
That's why they tell us
Not just the opposite sex, but
Yeah,
everybody.
to women in
All the
general,
time.
to human
Yeah.
beings in general.
Yeah.
But why do you think? Like, because I feel like it is a thing. And I know, like,
We're
My-
supposed to be demure. We're supposed to be. We're supposed to be cutesy.
No, poise.
We're supposed to be poised.
But,
There
you
you
know,
go. I like that word better.
poised,
Poise.
We're not
And
supposed
soft
to.
and our
Elegance,
feminine energy
right?
100%
Elegant.
of the time. But what if I don't want to be in my feminine energy today?
Right.
And I
You
think
know?
we are, even as men, I don't even want to talk about men. Men are allowed to be soft as well, but I feel like I don't want to be too much of anything. So I'm not going to be too soft. I'm a soft being already. That's my natural behavior to like feel things deeply. But I'm a little bit of a thug too. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to own that.
Thug
You know what I'm
J.
saying? But it is like,
I like Thug J. Thug
Love
J
that.
is fun.
she's a hoot.
You put enough wine in it, you'll see Thug J.
But it's just like, am I not allowed to be all the things, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
and that's just what I mean. What do you guys feel when it comes to, and I'm just bringing up topics just off the top of my head, but like when it comes to our body image.
Oh, God.
That's
I think, okay.
How much time do we have?
Right.
Yeah, it's like
So
that can be ongoing.
today was in the air like body dysmorphia, right?
And that's a real thing.
It's real, especially
real,
with
yeah.
me since I've lost so much weight.
Let's talk about what body dysmorphia
Okay,
is
so
for-
those who don't
Yeah.
for
know
me.
what body dysmorphia
Teach me something.
happily. So body dysmorphia is when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't see the actual you. So like for me, an
Oh my God,
example.
body dysmorphia?
So for me, right, I've lost 400 plus pounds, right? So clearly, I am no longer the person I was 3 years ago. But sometimes I don't see the progress that I've made in myself. I see the 600, 700 pound woman in the mirror. Even in everyday life, and like when I go somewhere, oh, can I fit in this chair or can I do this? Knowing, like, I'll give you a prime example. I got sick and passed out one day and fell on the ground. Right? At Bloodhound. Oh my God, I was there. Okay, so I fell out and fainted. My immediate thought went back to my 700-pound self. They're not going to be able to get me up off the ground. Right?
Say that.
Remember? So I'm like, they're not going to be able to get me up. I'm going to be stuck here. They're going to have to call the ambulance and get all these people to come and get me up off the ground. Knowing that I've lost all this weight, reality says, girl, you ain't nowhere close to that.
And they
But
did
my
get you
mind,
up.
and so when they went to go lift me up, boop, I was like, oh. So that's that body dysmorphia that you have about you. You're self-deprecating yourself.
Okay.
Even though you're not seeing the progress is there. You know reality, you've made the progress. But your mind fights against that when you look in the mirror. So that's what that is, right?
Right.
So that body image, to what society wants you to be. And then you have people online that try to, like the other day, somebody tried to insult me by saying I'm fat. Girl, find something else to insult me about.
Let's talk
You
about
know?
that because I hate.
That was
Genuinely,
crazy.
it's not to me. Genuinely, that's not an insult. That's you don't have enough words. in your
That's what I
brain,
said.
And you need more. Like, listen, because I can hurt you with words more than I can curse you out. And
That's
'cause
what I told
I'm
her.
not a big like. I'm not gonna be after this.
That's what I told
You
her.
know what I mean? But I do know that I can hurt someone with words.
Correct.
If I'm gonna do it, why would it be just about your body and not who you are as a human being?
Because
right?
number one, they don't know who you are.
Exactly, but then I'll shut up.
Right.
Because
you
that's
know?
not an eloquent
But
thing.
they
to-
don't
oh, you
care.
fat girl, like okay.
I mean, like, number one, I was like, be original. Number two, if that is the only thing that you can say about me, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, thank you.
What was
Okay.
the topic?
Yeah,
She, you know how when you're going back and forth with someone and they have nothing else to come up with, and far as the debate is concerned, so they go to insult, and that's the first. So she said, "Girl, you look like you eat all the cakes you sell." I was like, "Really? That's the best you can do?" So I'm
love
gonna
you for
keep
that.
I'm gonna keep what I think about your looks to myself.
I'm gonna
because
find
we
you, whoever it
And
was.
we take the bigger
Imani's
person.
like, no, and you
I don't
didn't-
care
It
how
takes
long
the bigger
it will
person not
take.
to go there.
we become the bigger person, right?
Why should I?
So why should we feed into it? Right?
Because I didn't,
So-
I
yeah.
didn't want to that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
But if she caught
but
me on
some
the right
days-
day,
some
Yeah,
days-
the right day, the right
some
time,
days you gonna hear it.
Right.
you know.
I just feel like for me, and the thing is that, like, I'm probably the biggest I've ever been now in my life, right? But it is more than just like the number. Because, like, for body dysmorphia, I know people that have it that are pencil thin, and they just don't see pencil thin. But another thing is that we are all under pressure to be a certain look, and it necessarily isn't pencil thin anymore. But it's just a
Correct.
certain
It's
way.
not. It's
a
not
certain,
that anymore.
It's a certain
but
look. It's
yeah.
like how much money you had that you spent on your body. Stuff like
Correct.
that is now the norm, right? It's
Yeah.
way more
the
normal.
BBLs
But-
of it
Yes.
all.
Love shoot.
Oh.
Oh gosh, yeah.
But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we're
Waist
all
trained.
battling that. All women are battling something
Right.
It's
where
true.
society told us we was ugly at one time.
Yeah.
Correct.
I honestly was very much a tomboy. I didn't get told I was ugly. I just didn't get treated as a girl for a very, very long time. Like, and I didn't realize that it didn't hurt me in the moment because I didn't know better, right? But then when I was doing a lot of work on myself a few years back, I learned that it bothered, like, I still felt like the ugly little girl. And I don't feel like I was necessarily ugly to standards. I was just such a boy-like person. Like, I was dirty at the time. Like, I was playing sports outside with boys. Like, I didn't want to, it was like, I felt more comfortable not being noticed. But then as I got older and people noticed me, I was angry. Because they notice me for the wrong things, right? I get noticed a lot of times for the wrong things. Stuff like, tell me you notice how I am, who I am, my kind heart. But now I get noticed for the things that, like, boy, you didn't like me 20 freaking years ago. So then you don't like me now
Why
because
not?
I'm the same damn flipping person, right?
And the same
know what
thing
I
happened
mean?
to me. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
want me when I was bigger.
Yeah.
So don't circle back around now that I'm more your quote unquote type, which is fine. But I'm the same person.
Yeah.
So
like
you
me
didn't
for
want me.
this
Yeah.
first because a lot of times, listen, I'm not always cute, right? You know,
Right.
I'll have like pigtails in my hair,
Bonnet
and my- you know,
on.
like
Exactly.
that's what it is. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, I refuse to be in a relationship where I have to make up on all the time. Oh gosh, my hair. I washed it today for the first time in over a week, and I'm gonna set it. I said it. It was disgustingly dirty. I don't have thick hair. It was dirty, but like, love me in those moments because those moments are more real for me. Like, I don't want to conform to what society tells us to be.
Correct.
If I put on a damn lipstick on, it's because that day I felt like it.
Yeah, we don't
want-
dress up for
yeah.
men. We dress up for
And
ourselves.
I know,
Exactly.
but a lot of times,
What makes you feel good?
a lot of times, I know a lot of women, maybe not my close inner circle, but I know a lot of women that, oh my God, this guy's gonna be here. I gotta impress. How long are you gonna impress? I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to love you. If you don't want to love me and you need me to impress you all
That's
the time, then
society
I'm not
standards.
for you.
I
know?
feel like that's society standards because society tells you do not be ambitious. Do not go and achieve things that you really want to achieve outside of, that home. So that's the issue that I would say that we go back to. That's society's standards. Society has a different view of what you should be doing, but you have to be authentic and create your own view of what you feel like you should be doing, So, and wherever it leads you, it could lead you to so many different places. It's left me to where I'm going into different things, different exposures to things that I didn't even do before because I felt as though I was closed in, So once I got to the point where I was more authentic to myself, that's when I started to excel.
And it's freeing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
So for me, I think if I conform to what was expected, and not just society, but it just even family, I wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't even be alive. And I'll tell you this much, because you lose hope when people don't give you hope, when people shut down your dreams, when there's where depression and anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. I've said it all my life. I've suffered from anxiety. But why? Because I was a people pleaser most of my life. The minute I stopped pleasing, well, here we are on the on the Aspire podcast. Once I clicked, like, yo, I'm losing my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm slowly dying, because we are all slowly dying. Once it clicked, I had a health scare, and I was just like, what the flip am I doing? Like, why am I not running to my goals? I'm helping, and I love to help, and I'm still continue to help. But even like in my marriage, here, like, build you up. And I'm over here watching on the sideline, he up here. And not that I would not do that, but I wasn't getting, it was like this. It was like this. And, and it was okay, because society told me I'm a Hispanic woman that needs to support her man by any means necessary. Where is it that they don't support you back? Where is it that, like, you are supposed to just feed them? I want to feed you, but I don't want to be left starving.
Yeah, and that's what happens when I saw a reel about that, and it was very, very
I'm passionate. I'm sweaty today.
But it really spoke to me, where you're taught to feed into people and to feed into people, but you're pouring yourself empty. So then when it's time for you to do what you want to do, there's nothing left to sustain you and to nourish you to those things. So we have to find a balance to those things. And also, don't feed into people who aren't willing to feed into you.
Yeah, and that's a mindset I had to learn.
Me too.
I'm still okay with being the giver. Now a little reciprocation every once in a while won't hurt,
But as soon as I see that reciprocation is not happening, it is your job to remove yourself from that before you empty yourself.
And now, and I had to learn those lessons hard.
Yeah.
Because I am, like, by freaking nature at birth, like, I was like, okay, you're going to be this healer and you're going to be this giver.
I'm a fixer.
And I know that exactly. I'm so okay with that. Yeah. But if you don't watch who you give it to and what you do, because it shouldn't leave you crippled. But if it's still going to be me, because I can't help but want to do that.
Just do it smarter.
Yeah, and just love and make sure that the same people that you're loving loves you back in the same way. They can't love you the way you love, which I had to learn that lesson too. They can't love you. You can't expect you from people, but in their way, if they're not doing their all like you are, and that's just relationships in general, all people, not like a man, not just, they should be giving you at least their version of what you give them. That's all.
And what you need from them.
Yeah, because we all have different needs too.
Yeah.
You said it. Let's keep going,
Hey,
people.
let's go.
Creating a safe space for other women. Who wants to start?
Froze.
You froze because it's not a common thing, right?
Yeah.
Safe space, what's that? No.
You're like, safe.
Good environment.
Well, right now,
This is a safe space.
Exactly. If I didn't have it growing up, which I did not have a safe space, women, right? I created it. We create our own safe space.
Yeah. So you have to have a circle of women that you can speak your mind and to divulge those secrets to and things that are hard to say with knowing that it's not gonna go anywhere.
Correct.
That's the hard part.
That is the issue right there.
Right?
Because he said that, she
Because
said, you said that.
next thing you know, somebody that you don't even know is telling you your business to you, and like, wait a minute, that's me.
Somebody else.
How you know, right?
Right.
So if you can find that, that's priceless.
I think I'm still navigating that, which is probably why I froze, because I'm learning how to create a safe space for myself right now. Maybe I'm
And
a
then to
beginner,
share it, yeah.
and then also now my son, and finding that agency in just like society wants you to be a certain way. So finding that authority and being an advocate for myself and my son and creating that safe space. I don't know if I've ever thought about creating that safe space. I don't know if I practice it or do it. Obviously, I have friends.
I feel
but
like you do. You just
Because I
don't
done
know.
told you some stuff, and I know,
But you know
I
what?
know it hasn't gone anywhere. So, you know, we are each other's
So
safe
does
space,
safety-
too. Yeah.
Does safety only mean that it's not going to be spread? Does safety have other realms?
For
Yeah.
me, I feel like for me,
It's
safe
true.
space is not just that I can tell you things, but that I can be my most vulnerable.
Yes.
And
And
not
you're
feel
not going to
judged.
hold it
Yes.
against me.
Okay.
And you're not going to
Okay.
use it later.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
right
Because
there.
yes, sometimes friends tell each other things.
Yes.
I've heard it with all these secrets, right? And then they're not friends anymore. Something may have happened, a hiccup even. It doesn't even mean that their friendship ended. And there you go.
In the midst of an argument,
And
it's thrown in
using
your
it,
face.
using it
Yeah.
against me. So like, there's I have a rule. I am not going to say anything out loud that I don't want really to be shared with the
Sent
world.
out.
Why?
Yeah.
At times I really don't want anything shared, but there's not one thing that anybody could say about me that I can't say about myself, you know?
Correct.
And I live by that rule because like, listen, anybody can change,
That's
right?
right.
But I have a confidence
That's
in my
right.
core circle now that I'm like, yo, I don't care. They're gonna know, you know what I mean? But it was time, effort, and work. You said you're gonna work on that for yourself and your son. If you don't, then you can't have it. You know what I say? Because I had to work on myself to such a degree that now I know I'm that, but I also better get that. You know what I mean? And you do it. I think you are one of those humans that don't know how to not be authentic. And authenticity is super important to say for anybody. No, I'm just
That's real. And
You know?
being that I've known you longer, 100%, that is you.
I really do.
just
Okay.
gotta own it. Stand
Stand
on
on
business.
business.
Stand on business. You know what I mean? Like,
So
and-
it's not going to be as hard as you think it would
No.
be
She
to
already
do
doing
that,
it,
because you
yeah.
already sort of do that with me. So
Okay.
continue to do that and find your circle
be
of
that.
people
Yes.
that you can feel vulnerable with
Yeah.
and say these things with, because you can't keep these things in, because it will just
Hell no.
rip you apart.
believe me, I'm in
Trust me.
and holding back rehab, and she keeps me accountable because I don't be telling people like when I'm a happy-go-lucky person, but even the happiest people suffer the saddest
Yes.
moments, right? And I have a hard time sharing my sad moments. But in the last few years, and since I've gotten a second chance at life, girl, I'm like crying on the phone like a big old baby.
And nobody cries alone in my presence.
Listen,
So, you know, but, and you also, she doesn't tell me right away either.
No.
So you have to
But
give
I
that
tell
person.
you.
do. So that's what I'm saying.
Eventually.
So my point is, you give the person the freedom and the space to tell the,
when it's
to
their
when
time.
it's their time. Because I try not to. I be wanting to know. Trust me. Right? Because I be like, girl, what happened? You know?
Right.
And then the next day, because I didn't tell her,
So I'm like, you good? You feel like talking today? No? Okay.
and I already know that I expect a call tomorrow. So, and
So,
by
and
tomorrow, we go.
And I do that just to let you know that I am here for whenever that situation, that time comes.
Yes.
Don't keep it in, because trust me, I am a victim of that self-deprecation and that you know, keeping things bottled in, and then what happens, it explodes, and then it's 10 times worse than it would have been. If you can just find, if it's not a therapist, your pastor, your best friend, your mother, whoever, Find somebody to confide in that because you don't want that pot to blow up.
And safe space for women isn't always just your girlfriends. It's a church. It's a listen. I did therapy both in an actual therapist's office, and I went my pastor's wife, and we did some work. When I tell you, she changed my entire life. That was my safe space as a woman, right? And it's so rare, but it happens. But you got to be ready for it. Don't like a lot of times. I would say when I started that therapy, especially church therapy, I think I was in a transitional make or break period in my life where it was just like, if I do not seek this help, I am drowning in my own tears and no one knows it. You know what I mean? At that time, I haven't even ever shared this, but and it's funny because I met Devana a year maybe before that, and she didn't even know. Like, I was really in a transitional, like, I was shedding all the bullshit, because it's bullshit that I believed from what people told me, that I lived, that I survived, and nobody even knew. I was so muted as a child. When I got older, I told my especially in the last 5 years, nobody's gonna shut me up because I've shut up for so long. And once I really hit that, and everybody's different, right? Everybody hits their bottom, but for me, it was more like the best thing that ever happened to
It's
me.
very freeing.
Is the worst time in my life, the most broken, was my favorite time in my life because I literally overcame. It's like that phoenix that rose. Like, yes, like I'm a phoenix, but we all have times where we got to do that. You know, it's not, and we all have moments where we know sometimes we outgrow the friends that we have, and it's okay too, because a lot of times I hold on to friends, but what I have learned is like you don't have to hold on tight to your actual friends, your life friendships. You don't have to be like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like, stay, you know?
Yeah.
If they go, let them go, because most times you didn't really need that. You didn't feel safe in it, and it's okay. And how I acted from my last breakup with a friend is not how I would have acted 5 years ago. I would have dwelled, and I would have tried to, like, what did I do?
Fix it.
Bro,
What
no,
can
it
do to
ain't.
be
I don't
friends?
need to fix it. It need to stay broke, you know?
Yeah.
And so once I learned that, woo, it's life changing.
Yeah.
Life damn
So what
changing.
they say,
It is.
Yeah,
let
but it
them
takes
walk
time.
away.
Exactly.
Like they say, if they walk away, let them. Because God's
especially-
pulling them away for a
Yes.
reason.
There's this thing
I
that
had to learn that. Like I lost several friends that were
you ain't lose nothing.
well
You ain't
at the
lost,
time I
yeah.
felt like I lost
Yeah,
them.
you felt
You
like
know,
you were the problem.
right? Like
Yes.
you know, friends who I've had since the age of 10. We went through all through college, and then all of a sudden
that was the season.
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, Zippo, or you know, and you mourn these friends just
Like
like
a death.
someone. But I think it's harder because you know the person's still alive. You can reach out to that person if you really wanted to. Whereas a person who's actually dead, you know, it's final.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're mourning a
grief
loss
is
of a
different.
friend, it's different because you know that you might run into them on the street one day, and it's not going to be the same.
I
You know?
think for me, when I've mourned people that were still alive, when it first started happening to me, and I think it was just like me shedding who I was, these people needed to go. But when it first happened to me, it was more of like, I'll put it this way. I had a sister friend, I would have called her, and my brother passed, and she came to his like celebration of life. And then the very next week, I have still not heard from her ever again. And I just think that was just God's way of like, you needed her maybe right then and there. But also my brother's way of being like, girl, that ain't your damn friend. Because he was like that. You're like, that ain't your friend. A friend is $1 in your pocket. My little brother would always be like, oh, why you need all these friends? Like, and I feel like that was it was so hard for me. That period, I lost 15 people in like a year, and then my dog died, and my friend just disappeared. But what I learned from that, it was hard, but it wasn't as hard as when I was broken and I needed to fix. It was like God prepared me each way every time I mended something for the next step. now shed. Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Doses.
You
You know?
girl.
You know, I
Is it
hold
hard
the
for you
door
to say
open.
bye to a
I
friend?
hold
Right.
the door open for them if they
Same.
want to leave.
I got there. No, now I'm
Yeah.
like, if you really must
That's it.
go,
Yeah.
that's a door. Lo exits.
It's
I'm
up
like
to
that.
you.
that
What they
you
say,
know?
don't let the door hit you when the good Lord split you.
I'm like those at the
That's
airplane.
old
What do you
school.
call
It's
those?
true.
Flight attendants that's like exits are here.
Here.
Yeah, yes.
there.
The light is that way.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah,
I
but
think-
it takes so
It takes
long.
time, and
it
I've
takes
told you,
your own
and
journey.
I've told you that with your friend that you told me about. You know, just
That's exactly what I'm thinking about
Yeah.
right now. As you guys are
Look at me, I'm like,
ministering,
tea?
let it
Do
let
I
it
need
use
tea?
you. No, recently, actually, we're coming up on a year now that my best friend, she knows me since we were 5 and 6 years old, and we've been through a lot. We got really close, like the godmother of my son, and
Let me drink.
girl, yeah. So about a year ago, at this point, she stopped communicating with me after expressing how she felt about, in general, a situation, not this is what
Necessarily
you did.
Yeah, okay.
And I begged that girl, like, what did I do? What did I do? And even now, a year later, I'm like,
It's a mind fuck.
things that
Yeah.
are happening. And like when you guys are talking, I'm thinking about that process of like, don't blame yourself, or they have to go, but it's really hard.
It is.
it's
It
very
is.
hard.
I can't believe you got me on here.
It is.
No,
Every
that's what we
time.
do.
I'm so surprised. She does every time. You're.
Oh my god!
I'm telling you, every time.
You gotta shed it. You gotta
The
shed
tears
it.
I've
Well, I will
shed.
tell you,
It's
no.
hard.
And listen, I'm glad you got your paper towel.
Girl, don't even get me started. The tears I done shed on this show.
But what I will say,
No, she almost had me. I was
I'm
like,
not about to do this.
no, you're allowed
No.
to
I
was
cry,
thinking
and
about
you're
my
allowed to
lashes.
be that.
I have, trust me.
because maybe
Look,
you
we ain't
needed
done yet.
something
I might
Right.
join you in a minute.
I will tell you, when it first happened to me, when that, and she was like, I mean, my kids call her Titi, like it was family, right? But what it taught me is that things are so precious and short. Not everything is forever.
Yes.
Right.
That in the moment you needed
Yes.
that one person and
Right.
she was there.
Right.
But when it was really, really time for you, and it may not be her shedding, maybe you needed to
Yeah,
shed that.
you needed to
Yes.
shed
You
it.
needed to grow from that. That's what
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
Because I beat myself up for years. I mean, this. Look, I'm getting goosies because, like, I'm not gonna cry on this show neither. My damn show.
I'm a thug.
She's
Don't
not.
cry.
She's
real.
not. Aunt's over here saying I'm a thug.
Thuggish,
we
ruggish
ain't.
bone right
It's
here.
okay.
You know?
But it's true. You know why you're crying? Because you're shedding that, and eventually it will
Eventually
not
you'll
matter.
understand why. You
You
just don't know
need
yet.
to understand it.
Eventually.
You know why? Because
But
I
I
don't
want to, and
understand
it's
it.
driving me insane.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna be
we're
real.
Leos. We're like that. We're like that.
How could you not want to be with a mate? No.
How are you not my friend?
My friend.
So I'm no, but we just share.
I'd be like,
We
bye.
just share. We just hold the door
And
open.
I mean, I've done that
That's what we
with
do.
hell, my baby daddy. I've done it with
No, I've never ghosted
priceless
someone.
people that I've cherished in my life. I've been able to, but this one is really hard.
Yeah,
This one
it's
is
the
like,
friend. It's that rider, that person you thought was your
Yes.
Your person.
bad,
Yes.
your person.
Yes.
Person
And
don't
you
gotta
knew
be
you
your
were
family,
loyal.
right?
You were
Yeah,
You
loyal
were
to a
loyal,
T.
and then all of a
Christina to my
sudden,
marriage.
and you might not ever
Yes.
find out why.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be
got
real
you
with
there.
you.
It's true.
You might not ever find out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
kept
haven't found out.
Yeah.
It's
25 years later.
Yeah.
I still don't know why.
What a future.
Yeah.
You don't need
You
to
know, and
You
and
know
it
why?
took me
'Cause
a
their why
long.
don't matter
It took
anymore.
me a long time to come to grips with the fact
Yes.
that I might not ever know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you have to grow to
It
become
is.
okay with that.
Yeah.
Just know that they are not there for a reason.
It's true.
And you might not
That is
even
so
know
true.
that that reason is.
It took me
Yeah.
a few years, but then I stopped questioning me and started questioning her. What the hell is wrong with you? But truly, because I did for so long, I thought mentally frontwards, backwards. I did somersaults. I was flipping up in the air. Like,
Right.
Exactly.
You see this?
Like how?
Text messages
How?
days,
Right.
like, what did I miss?
You like, boy, without me.
And what came to me is that that person sometimes doesn't like your your light.
Yeah.
Doesn't like your brightness.
That's true.
Sometimes deep down they're struggling through, because of my friend, the friend that mattered that did this, everyone after that didn't matter because I got over it. You know why? Because the friend that mattered that did this, once I started being like, well, she was in a really dark place and she was this, it became, well, this is her issue. She lost out on this friendship because I'm a tough friend. I'm going to give you the tough love when you need it, but man, I'm gonna love you forever. Man, I'm gonna have your back. So then it became, she wasn't ready for the love that I was willing to give. She was not able to accept it, and it's okay. That's what you gotta think. We're gonna move on because I ain't gonna cry at this point.
I never cried.
I'm a thug today.
For
You
the
ain't get me
record.
today, baby. You ain't gonna get me.
No,
I
please
never
don't.
cried.
Please.
That is for the record.
Oh yeah, you scratching that from the record because she might cry again.
It's
I
like
had makeup
Do you
on.
got a sty in your eye? That's why. Health and beauty standards. We're gonna talk deeper about this because I feel like it's deeper for women. Yes, society tells us this, but sometimes beauty standards comes from each other, hating on each other, and doing all this like, oh, well, she ain't got no ass. But look, you saw her big old titty. Listen,
Girl,
you
did
saw
you
this
see
Joker
how her
smile.
hair
I have
look?
it. You know what I mean? But,
like-
but sometimes health and beauty, oh, she not working out enough.
Right.
Now, do you guys think it's okay to tell your friend, like, girl, go to the gym?
Okay, so that's a tough one.
Try me. Tell me.
when they
That
tell me,
Tell me I
girl,
need to
that
go to the gym
comes,
and let's
that
see.
comes with the
Yeah.
tough love category,
So
right?
let's talk about that.
So,
'cause
but do we
Don't
actually
tell me.
do it?
Don't tell me.
How
do.
can like you tell your
I go for a
girls?
little bit.
Hell
and then-
no.
Because nobody told me.
no, okay,
At
so
all.
I'm gonna use an
The
example.
only person that told me was my mama and my girl, you know. But nobody told
Like,
me.
I know I don't look
They
like
do.
how I used to look. Like, I know I got a stomach. I know I got a fupa. You don't have to tell. Don't tell me that. Tell me anything else. Don't tell me I need
But
to go work
everybody's different, so I will own this.
Nobody
Listen,
told
I'm gonna tell you a
What
story.
do we tell me, Jen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because it-
And then
because we're
it's
so
the standards.
sensitive.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because you don't want to offend.
Correct.
You
Girl,
know,
you know you need
But
to
you
do
don't
that.
want to gain in that weight back in that weight loss the truth. You go gain the weight, you know, that kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah, so you
Correct.
need me to do that because I don't have no problem
And if
doing
everybody's ready to receive it.
That's
Right,
the
I'm not
thing.
ready. I'm not
But you
ready.
You gotta
know
be
your
ready.
audience.
See, that's the thing.
not
Yeah,
ever
that's
ready
the
to hear
issue.
that.
Because I probably would have been like, bitch. You know, because I wasn't in the place to
ready.
hear
Yeah,
it.
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
truth. Yeah.
You know, because my family
yeah.
told
I'm
me
not in the
Yeah,
place.
she right.
till I was blue in the face that I'm killing myself. You know, we know this.
You like what you
But
mean?
I mean, come on, you know. But this tastes good, you know. That kind
I'm
so
not in the place.
it's you gotta read the room as they
Exactly.
say. Sit them down and be like, this is coming from love.
Exactly.
But maybe you need to.
I can correct your hair.
Or
your
can we go
makeup.
with you?
I can tell you.
now
Or
you
that.
Take
But
me
your
to
weight-
the
Or take
gym
it to the gym
with
Baby.
you.
Okay,
Yeah. Right.
so I got a story.
Invite you.
I was at Sears Suckers this last time. Shout out to her brother.
Shout out to
Anyway,
T Gaines and
T Gaines, anyway.
Yeah.
But the dress kept riding funny on my shoulders and being all like it was a beautiful dress.
don't get me started on the dress.
Don't talk about listen, because I wasn't wearing the dress that she had picked out for me, and I'm
Everybody
so
about
sorry.
this dress. I told everybody about this
Last-
dress. Anyway, go ahead.
But
I'm
this is
sorry.
not the story I'm
Okay, I'm a
tell.
hush.
So I'm taking. So before the event, we got there early, and my bestie, shout out to Melissa, she goes, "We're taking pictures. You know, we're early. There's nobody there, so cool. We're outside still taking pictures." And I just didn't really like one of the pictures, right? And I was like,
Yeah, and you know I'll say something.
And we'll be
right.
like,
I'm that
So
type.
no, I didn't like the picture of me, and it pointed because
fine.
It did. Oh, okay.
nah. No, I didn't like the picture that
Who
Melissa
did look
took.
good?
I didn't. Let me finish
Okay,
the damn
sorry.
story,
She
lady.
cut you off.
I'm a
Out
hush.
here.
My bad.
So Melissa goes after, and I was like, oh, I feel like my arms, like my shoulders look funny. She's like, oh, what you gotta do is work out those upper arms. And to everybody else, I would have been like, dang, that was rude. And I was like, you are, listen, I was like, yeah, because these things are just flapping in the wind. But
And I
it
would
takes
pull out right on her head because I can't fix that right now today at
But-
this very second.
but
and
then
I'm
at the
crazy
same
today.
time-
major reference where
Right.
the arms
Today.
out.
But at the same time, if somebody else came up to
I
her,
don't know.
right? But at the same time, if somebody else came up to her and said that,
I wouldn't have felt offended, but you gotta know me. If some random,
that's
or
what I'm
like,
saying.
you
Some
know what I'm
random
saying?
person came up to you and said that, what would you have done?
mean?
Exactly.
Raggedy bitch.
Now you be like, now we ready to fight. Now I gotta come back over here and
You don't even
like,
know
who
them.
did
Don't
this?
say- don't say
You know, now I gotta fight at my brother's party. You know,
Tell me I got lipstick on my teeth. Tell me my
please
Yeah.
penny line is showing. Tell
yeah,
me
or
Right,
come up to me and
something.
fix the back of my
Do
dress like y'all
not
do.
Right.
talk about
Yeah.
my weight. Bitch, I
Correct.
know.
I scaled myself this morning. I weighed
You
myself.
don't think I see it?
You don't think I
You
see
don't
this?
think I see it?
See that crease right now?
That's what's so funny about people insulting you for being fat. Like,
Duh.
you think I don't have a mirror in my house?
I know.
No, but what she did was like she had my
So you
back.
calling me
because,
stupid
okay,
too?
Right.
Now I'm dumb and
Now I'm dumb and fat.
It is. It's so
So
true.
if one of your besties told you that, how would you feel? One at a
Yeah,
time,
girl, you
ladies.
wanna
A bestie is okay doing that.
No,
you
she
know,
wanna
that's fine. You know,
She gonna fight some random.
but anybody else that
Yes.
is kind of like an acquaintance or somebody that I work with or somebody that, you know, I socialize with, it's like, come on, you could have said it different. You could have asked
But-
me to go to the gym. You should not have
Do you
said all
think
of
there
that.
would have been a way? And this is a question for
No,
you.
that's why I don't. say
Is
it.
there a way that a person could have said that? Not your bestie, not
Yeah.
someone that you're close to, but then is there any kind of way someone could have said that to you that you wouldn't have taken offense to?
No, not really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't get offended.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah,
other
there's
way.
no way. There's no way because you don't know that person.
So who are
If
you
the
to
trust
tell
is
me
not there.
exactly?
That's it.
And if my best friend don't know that I know that I'm fat,
Right.
you're calling me dumb and let's fight.
So damn,
We
Melissa,
do
I
not
guess we were
condone
supposed
violence.
to.
We do not condone violence, but sometimes you
No,
gotta
we do
cut
not at all.
Hey, intermission. The Aspired Podcast is not condoning any violence.
violence, but sometimes you gotta cut a bitch.
Everybody knows I would never. But
I just feel like she
You
was
wanna
like, you're
argue
not
it.
fat, but let's work out these arms a little.
Right.
I know what my friend meant, but another thing is like if a random was like, girl, your arms are a little good and thick,
Right.
but I don't easily offend either. I would have been like, yeah.
I know, right? It's like, come
I
on.
used to work out so
Right.
heavily that like my arms were super toned, so like now they're just like big. Like it's not like they're like super floppy, they're just
Right,
big. So I
right.
just gotta tone up a little bit.
and you talking about your best friend, right? The little petite lady.
Yeah.
that
That's
I-
Melissa,
We
yeah.
used to be petite
I would
together.
cry while
No,
I fight
why?
her because
we do not condone violence at all.
condone violence.
no.
But sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Why? Why?
Because you calling me dumb like I can't
ready
see
to
in the
throw
mirror
them
every day.
Let's get off this subject. You is about to fight, and these girls keep.
And I'm about to be there with my popcorn,
Right.
watching her
Let's skip. because
beat up
y'all
on
crazy.
Melissa. I love you,
Our
Melissa.
hardest lessons.
Ooh, my baby daddy.
Our hardest lessons. So I'm gonna let you first because you already started. You didn't even hear the question, but you started.
We heard it, the hardest lessons. Thank you very much for paying attention.
Go ahead,
hilarious.
Imani.
The hardest lesson has really been the single motherhood journey. I've been humbled in ways that I never even thought that I
In what
needed
way?
to be humbled.
Like, I don't know these things. I'm like, huh?
So I thought I was very emotionally intelligent, right?
Okay.
I can identify my emotions, but the way I express them when I'm angry, specifically,
Fighting.
I'm in
I know how you
therapy.
express.
Shout out to my therapist. You know who you are.
Listen, that's the one I'm calling.
I'm
When
not calling
when
her. She
I-
about to
my
get me
therapist.
arrested.
I'm gonna have my bail money ready.
Anybody who knows me knows I would never, but baby, I will get you in trouble in ways you never thought. If you want to fight, okay?
I feel like she's threatening
Like,
the whole.
you know, you gotta have that one friend
Yeah,
that you can
just in
call
case.
I'm not gonna put
at
my
3
hands on
o'clock
you.
in the morning, and she
But I
gonna
know
roll
who
up.
Who's that
will.
person?
Oh my god.
Monty is my roll up friend. Okay.
So how? what was the actual lesson like? How do you feel you learn emotional intelligence?
If I'm asking my son to express himself express his
words.
anger with words, why the hell am I yelling at him?
Damn, that's a gem. Say it louder.
That's a do as I say, not as I do thing, though.
It's not, but it's not
But
the
it's not the
parenting.
yeah.
That got on my nerves as a child hearing adults say that, any adult. But how am I so emotionally intelligent and I'm trying to teach this boy to express himself properly and respectfully? Your feelings are valid, but the way you're expressing them, that behavior is not.
That's disrespectful.
And then
yeah.
I'm yelling at you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta practice
So,
what I preach.
I
Sometimes
have been
too.
humbled.
Yeah.
I have been humbled in thinking
That's
about
deep.
those moments of disciplining.
Yeah.
I really
Also, I
respect
just
that.
never thought that I was going to be disciplining, because in this planned journey of me becoming a mother, I didn't expect to be a single mother.
Yeah.
So that's been a hard lesson.
Who does really? Yeah.
Right. But some people want
Choose
that.
it. Yeah, choose it.
Yeah.
Whatever your journey is, I respect that. But I just never thought that for myself. And so when I got here, it was a hard lesson.
She said, "Ooh, child, God went like this."
God bless y'all mothers, because I don't think I would. I think God knew what he was doing. Because me having the patience to be a mother, I barely have the patience to be a dog mom.
No, you don't. You don't. Yeah, you don't. Let's keep it real.
I mean, let's keep it real.
I'm gonna tell her she don't. She'd be like, "Wow."
I be fussing about the dog. It is a dog. So I
Yes.
can't imagine being a mother.
It's not easy.
You know, so
What's
God
your-
bless y'all.
What's your hardest lesson?
Me? Self-love has
That's
been
a
my
lifelong
hardest
thing.
lesson.
Yeah.
Because I lived in that darkness for so long. I am 48 years old, and I can say that I didn't really truly love myself until probably 15 years ago. That's when I finally started to fight for myself, to be here, to live on this plane, and to love me to love myself, no matter what state of health or career goal or family orientation, whatever it was, to love myself in this moment. And I still have my days. This past week was very rough for me, just for whatever reasons. You know, the depression hits you, the anxiety hits you, the what ifs and the why didn't this happen and the woe is me's happen. But at the end of the day, you have to love yourself, and then everything else will come, you know. I fought for my job. I fight for my friends. I fight for my life, my health, all of these things I had to learn. And it took me 35 years to do it, you know. So now that I'm in this plane, I want to make sure I stay here. So I fight for that. I fight for my peace. I fight for positive energy around me. As soon as I see that this person is not adding value to my life,
They need to go.
they need to go. And it sounds harsh, but when you've been in that dark place for so long, you fight like hell to keep that.
Amen.
And that's my, and I'm still learning it. Like I said, I'm not going to be perfect at it, but I can say I am over and beyond where I was even just 15 years ago. I'm not even going to talk about you, because you've known me for a very long. You've seen it, you know.
I've seen it, the transition.
What about you, Jennifer? What's your
Ooh.
hardest lesson?
Learning that I am enough. You know, at first you don't think that you're enough. I sat back on the sidelines doing things behind the scenes. But now, being different and at the forefront, I have learned that everything that I do now is enough. You know, like I'm actually enough. And I had to learn that first, and that goes into self-love, you know? And then that's when you can have people come in, you know, into your life that you trust, that you value, that you let in. It's a journey to get there. And it took a while for me to realize that I had to just say, you know what? There was some things in my life, not just people, but things that I needed to shed, you know? Maybe some things that I needed to work on to excel to other things. And now, just like she said, I want to keep my peace. I want to keep my ambition. I want to keep the people that I value near me. And so that I can not only just achieve more, but help them along the way as well. That's exactly what that is.
I'm going to share mine because I just recently learned it. Like, I just realized, like, yo, this is my toughest battle. You know how they say, like, we're always like, oh, I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to prove them wrong. I realized, like, I fought so hard to prove to other people who I am, my authenticity and everything like that. Like, I'm not proving it to them. I have to prove it to myself. Like, creating this podcast was definitely like a labor of love. Like, I wanted to do this, and I finally was like, oh, I can do this. And I got both very positive and negative feedback, but it's in doing the show that I learned. I've been trying to prove the wrong things to the wrong people, because why am I trying to, like, you know, oh, I'm going to prove that I can do this. Why?
Yeah.
Why do I have to prove something to anybody? Yeah. What I do is what I do, and it's good enough for myself. So, like, that mentality of, like, and it's a survival mode mentality. I learned it when I was like 2-3 years old, and when bad trauma started happening, it's like I wanted to prove to myself or prove to other people, prove to my mother, like, I am a lovable person, so I'm, like, going to be fun. In fact, like, she actually helped create this personality for myself, because it was through trauma and, like, finding, I have to be lovable somehow, right? So it was like, the person I am is because I was proving to other people. But then in the last couple years, I'm still this person, but now it's not about the other people that I'm showing it to. So it's the life lesson of, like, you don't got shit to prove to nobody. And once it hit me, like, I feel like I'm the most me in this life. I'm about to be 40 than I was when I was a child, because I still was doing it to impress someone, to make me lovable. And so once it was just like, you don't really gotta love me because I love me. Right. Then it was over. It was a wrap.
And when you do that, right, you want to force other people. Well, not force everybody, but you want to prove this to everybody. You can do all the work in the world, and they still
don't love you.
They still
That's
not.
right.
You're still not going to
right.
prove anything.
That's right. Yeah.
So my motto this year is, I'm not arguing with nobody. Right? I'm gonna tell you. I can show you, but if you want to believe it, I say okay.
Right.
Because I don't need you to validate me.
Correct. It's that validation.
I've already done that.
And it's not, I always, oddly enough, I've always somehow loved myself in a way. Even when I was told, girl, you ain't, by the people that should have loved me, I wasn't loved. So, but in a weird way, I always was like a very spiritual person. So I was like, God love me, so I'm lovable. So, but I knew that even little, right? So it wasn't about just necessarily finding love. It was, I loved myself and still didn't think that I was lovable to them. So how do I make others love me? And once I was like, well, if you don't love me, damn, that really sucks for you.
You're lost.
And because, like, and it's not a pride thing. Like, I'm not a prideful person when it comes to love. Like, I will apologize. I will show up and be like, damn, you know? But I'm not proving who I am, what I stand for. If you don't know, if you haven't paid attention enough, why am I still trying to prove? I'm not proving. I don't care if there's, like I say always, like 2 likes or 2 million likes. That didn't still validate my show. I love this show. I love my people. I love who I am. Excuse me, I got hiccups now.
I thought you was crying.
I was about to do that too.
So I'm gonna let you in on something. I was holding back a tear, and that's why I got the hiccup. So thank you, Lumani, for telling everybody that I'm emotional. No, but it's like the little girl in me needed me now, right? And so I'm not gonna let her down, and I'm not gonna have to prove to anyone anymore. If you don't think I love you, then I don't love you. If you don't think I'm a good mother, then I'm not a good mother. You think whatever you want to think, you know? Thank you. Okay. See you later. That's
Not
what it
arguing
is.
with nobody.
Let's keep going. Woo, I love this. Getting rid of hater mentality within women. That's the most. Go ahead. Cause
There's no real way to get rid of it. You just have to.
So I've been
not to
confronting
navigate.
it because I have
she said confronted.
noticed. I
Okay.
have noticed growing up, it was hard for other women to give women compliments. Growing up, watching them interact, so
didn't
the
happen.
compliments were more like, "Oh, you think you cute."
Instead of like, girl, you are cute, right?
So
Yes, I
confronting
agree
that,
with that.
when I have those thoughts, go ahead and tell that stranger she looks nice. You like her earrings.
I do that shit
You
all
will-
the time.
Right.
People
Girl, that
You
dress,
look
red. What
you
was
look
that?
cute.
Red dress.
You
Hey,
look
girl,
nice
I see you
on
red
that.
dress.
Right.
You know?
Listen,
Earrings.
I see you suckers. I
Yeah.
think people thought I was
Something.
gay, and I'm okay with that because I know who I am. But
Or so
Yes,
with
why
my
not?
with my friends, if you got something that I like or I want or I saw that and I really liked it, I'm I'm jealous, and I'm not
Jealous.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you just
but I'm
Yeah.
letting
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
confronting that.
but words sometimes get misconstrued.
Yeah.
Right, I'm
And-
talking to my friends.
We're talking.
Yeah.
We know her.
When
experience.
it's because I do that too. Like, girl, I'm so jelly. But you know what? Me and my friend, what I do like about me and Melissa and why our friendship has lasted almost 26 years, and I don't know why I did that because I know
She ain't going nowhere.
And I ain't either, right? No, but when you, it's
just
just like
playing, I'm
you
just
just yes. But what I do feel like we have done is like, even if we like it, and I love this about her, and it's a beautiful thing, is that like, girl, get you one too.
Right.
Most women
Sharing.
won't. Like,
Yep.
we could both have it.
Yep.
And
Like
and,
that lipstick she had on. I'd be like,
Yeah.
girl, what color lipstick is
And
that?
she said,
and she
"Queen."
here, go
Or
take a
you
picture
just
of
hand
it.
yours,
She had it. That's
right.
it. I
That's
took a
hand
picture
yours.
of it.
That's
hater.
exactly
You know
what
what
I'm
I'm
And now
saying?
she's like, yeah, go
Right.
get yourself.
Yeah, if you like it,
Exactly,
hey,
and
you
it's
know.
just that it's the competing, and I feel like hater mentality sometimes is deeper in actual friendships than in like strangers, right? Because we do like, oh dang, she gets to go to that concert I want to go to.
So I go
You
ahead
know
and
what
say,
I'm
I'm
saying?
jealous.
Yeah.
I want to go to that concert too.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we can move on past it.
Not everybody does that.
Right.
Not everybody
Everybody
does
had to
that,
confront it.
right? You have to like
Yeah.
just say what you're thinking. If you're like, dang, I really wanted those shoes, but she got them first. Half the
gonna
time,
buy
I'd be like, go buy me anyway.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just tell me when you gonna wear them, so I ain't gonna wear them.
and sometimes wear them at the
Exactly.
same time because what a skirt looks on you may not look the same, and we just
Right.
gonna rock it our own way.
Correct.
Our personalities and our style is very, very
Yes.
different. So it's okay if we had a little accessory that's the same, and we actually have a purse that's the same, and there's been a few times where it's been worn at the same time.
Right.
We're not like, do not wear this. No.
What you wearing today? Okay, I'm gonna change my
Right.
outfit.
It's also that mentality. Sometimes in my past, I have honed because I love compliment. Like I'll see something, I'm like, oh my god, I really want to say she looks cute, and I used to hold back. Like I used to be like, no, because women are
That
not.
can make
don't
that
take
person's
that.
day.
And then it took. I really feel this way, and once I did the work, and I was just like, if I feel it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just say it a lot. Till they're like, I'll go around like, girl, you're cute. Okay, cutie. Like, and sometimes it gets good. Sometimes people think it's fake. Like I recently found out that an old friend of mine, one of her friends that I thought was dope. Like I was like, oh, she's a boss woman. She's just like about herself. She knows who she is. What said, and I think I could quote this. Oh, girl, so that fake nice Sujay. I don't know what she like.
Fake nice.
And I heard this through the grapevine, but I know
say
it's true
fake
because
nice?
she always gave me a weird vibe, and I'm very intuitive.
Wow.
Like if you don't mess with me, I can
what?
tell you don't mess with me, and okay. But like she always smiled in my face, but it was just like that genuinity.
Just because you don't
wasn't
have
there.
a
She was
light.
projecting.
Right.
She was
Yes.
projecting. She a hater.
Nice.
Exactly.
So she was
That's
being
what I
fake
learned.
nice.
It didn't hurt my feelings because
Exactly.
no, but Devonna, it didn't hurt my feelings because if you think my kindness is fake,
Right,
there is a
right.
problem with you. Because
Yeah.
Number one, you don't know me.
yes. So how do you know it's fake?
Exactly.
Because
That's
if you
her
knew
first
me, you
thought
would
of
know
me.
it's not
Yeah.
fake.
Correct.
And you're not
Sad for
taking the
you.
time to get to know me to determine if it's original,
And
if
that
it's
is
genuine.
that
or
is
not.
where that came into place, where I learned the
I'm so glad I
lesson.
wasn't there.
I know.
Where I learned the lesson that I don't gotta prove that I'm nice to you. I'm just nice. Sucks to be you because I won't be nice to you anymore.
Right.
But that's
Carry
like,
the light, girl.
Yeah.
and I don't have a lot of that. Usually people do try to get to know me, or they know me quickly, and it's like, I don't care. But if my kindness bothers you, what is wrong with
That's a you problem.
Correct. Correct.
Has
I don't
nothing
have
to
that
do
That
hate
is not a
mentality,
me
but I
problem.
get it.
That's a you
problem.
problem.
Yeah.
That's
Look
what
at
I've
your
started
inner
doing.
self.
Yeah.
See what's
And
going
I
it's
on.
had to
sad.
realize
It
that.
has. It is a sad world when kindness to other women is frowned upon.
Yes.
I'm so sorry I told you you were dope. I'm so like.
Matter of fact, I take it back. You ain't dope no more.
Right.
You feel better? You know,
Because clearly, maybe I idolized you a little bit,
Yeah.
and I need more therapy because you are not
Right.
the person,
Right.
you know. But it doesn't happen often to me.
No, it
but
doesn't.
when it happens, it's like it's usually someone that really has issues. Like usually
Yeah, yeah.
they need the therapy, and I know that, so I don't feel no type of way. You didn't hurt my feelings.
when people do that to me, I was like, that just tells me a lot more about you.
than myself.
Correct.
Yeah.
does me.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
So
true.
go on with your life.
Yes.
Girl, I was
And
like,
this
she
quote
said,
that I heard that I need to put on a T-shirt.
please tell me, because you know I'm about a quote.
It's and Felicia Rashad said this.
Oh, I love her.
She said, "Carry light, because light is not heavy." Think about that.
It isn't.
A word.
It really isn't.
Is that a word?
That really is.
I'm gonna get my shirt
Seriously, I need to get a shirt because
with the
that's
light bulb
It's
or
true.
something.
because
or
when you
star.
carry that
Yes,
light,
Yes.
It's so
illuminates.
easy.
It
It's easy to
It's
do
easy.
It's
It
easy.
is.
so because
It
she
is.
could not see that light,
Yeah.
she doesn't have it. That's why
Yeah.
she's heavy.
Yeah, and
You know?
the more I got to know,
true.
the more.
I
And
love
I didn't
that.
find
I
this
love
out until after I wasn't really in her life, but while I was getting to know her, the dopeness and I'm not a hater.
That
I'm
dope
gonna,
meter went,
yeah.
Okay.
But the dope meter definitely was like
Went to the other side.
was like, wow. So she's not anything that I thought.
Right.
And it's because first impressions are not real. Like
No.
really truly. Especially if you are trying to project something that you're not, right? So my first impression of me, it's me. It's what you get. It really is.
But you know what I love though? And first impressions can also be wrong in the fact that you might have a first impression about someone and it's wrong and they are dope.
Dope. Yeah.
You just
It's
caught them
true.
on a bad day.
It's
Like,
true.
I have a
Yeah,
really
it
close
It's
friend
true.
now. When I first met her, I thought she was mean as hell, right? Shout out to Tootie. I love you, girl. I told her this. I told her this. I thought she was mean. But after I got to know her, she is one of the dopest, most genuine, straight up people.
And sometimes
That
that
you'll
comes off
ever-
rough,
Correct.
right?
Now,
But
can I ask,
Yeah.
how did you get to know the person being that you thought she was mean?
Right.
We would always be in the circle. Like we
Same
had a
circle,
same
okay.
circle, right?
Right,
So we
okay.
would run into each other at a kickback or something or at an event or whatever. And we just converse more. The more we converse, she's a Virgo, so she's very
I don't know how
right.
you know
I
these
am
things.
not.
You are
right.
free.
I am. She's very. And I love that. And she talk about that friend that keep it real. They
Yes,
check
they
me.
do.
Like she
They
checked
do.
I changed my whole wardrobe because of her. Like that's that girlfriend that will tell you how it is.
Yeah,
but when I first met her,
Yes.
she was mean as hell. I
They're
was
very
like,
direct.
"Mm."
Yeah.
But
Do
now,
I have a Virgo friend? I don't even know what month. You
and I
guys are
don't
better
have
than me at
Late
this.
August.
late August,
Early
mid-August, mid-September.
Yeah.
Oh, my uncle is a
So
is a
when,
Virgo. Yeah.
so after she's one of my closest friends now. Like I was just talking to her on the way here. You know, this
Good people.
I love it when first impressions are wrong in a good way.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I
But you
just-
have to take the time to get to know that person instead of going off of that.
or
somebody I
or
think
shut
is
your
mean.
mouth and don't say
I ain't meeting them.
whatever you think that person is without knowing them.
Right.
Like stop, and that's a hater because if I don't know you, I could be like, oh, she was really cute, but I don't really know her, so I don't have an opinion on her.
Yeah.
Versus, yo, she came off real fast. How's she that nice? Nobody's that nice.
Exactly.
Well, you can have that feeling, or she came off that way.
But then,
But
even
don't
after
label
getting
that
to know-
person as that.
Correct,
Right.
You know?
correct. But that's genuine hater mentality for
It
me.
is.
'Cause
It's
if-
not just being like, oh, she ain't all that. No, it's not that. It's just
Yeah.
literally you putting your own feelings about yourself. Because what she did is, girl, because you ain't that nice, then my niceness
Right.
offends you.
Yes.
My kindness offended
Yes.
you. Kindness
Yes.
offended you.
How is that possible?
Kindness.
Right.
Because she's not
It
used
is.
to it.
Yes.
But
Well,
you know what?
yeah,
I liked
sucks.
what Oprah said. You know, if you have a type of people who are around you that you find out later that are jealous, you have to make sure you keep that person out of your circle, because you don't want that to go even further. That hater mentality can
It's contagious.
seep
Life.
into you.
It's
You know,
contagious.
and
Yeah.
you don't want it to affect you and your light. You know,
right.
that's really what
and,
it is.
And
Yeah.
it's I don't always think that who you surround yourself with is who you are, because
Right.
no, we're different
it's true.
people,
Yeah.
and I could choose not to do
Yes.
what you do.
That's right.
But it is way more likely that I'm going to become
Whatever it is.
whatever it is that I'm surrounding myself with. I start drowning in your own filth, you know. So I didn't want to get dirty with that water that she has, so I didn't. You know what I mean? But
I
Go ahead.
think I battled, which is why I said confront, because I battled with, oh, why do you feel that way at all? When it is a natural feeling to want something
human.
that you see,
It
Yeah.
is.
it's
It
your
is.
responsibility to not make it fester into jealous actions,
Correct.
jealous words.
Yes.
And I love Sex in the City, and I think that's where
Oh
I got
my
it
God.
from.
Melissa,
Because the
Yumani's your
movie-
soul sister.
In the movie, Carrie is moving to like this beautiful
Yes.
home.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
And Miranda's like, well, your name's not going to be on it. So like, she wants her to, she's being a good friend.
She is.
And she's
She
like,
is.
girl, can you just be what
Be
I want
happy.
you to be and
Right.
be jealous? Just be jealous.
Just for a minute. You can be jealous.
And I was like, I like that.
I
because
love
that
that.
is a natural feeling
Yes.
to want something else.
And also,
It is.
real
It is.
friends know that it's not true jealousy.
Right.
It's
It's
like,
not.
Right.
dang,
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
but it's like, oh, I really
Yes.
like that. I would want that for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think allowing it to fester into that negative space
agree.
is
That's
is
true.
the
I
problem.
concur.
Love
I
that.
love these conversations.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Dang, we got two more. Let's go. Using our voices for good.
Oh.
Well, that
we
goes
don't
back on
always
what
do
we were
it.
talking about
Yeah.
earlier, you know.
Yeah.
Just like what you were saying, like, you know, pumping up your friends and complimenting
Yes.
them and encouraging them and,
Yes.
you know, giving the acknowledgement when they do something good and all of that. So that's where that comes from.
I agree. I also think it's like a platform or a like you have a big following, you have know a lot of people, and it's also like sometimes like for an example, for me, if we're in a group and this whatever, like they're podcast extraordinaire, they know like millions of people and they can get me elevated. It is also knowing, yo, if I use that connection that I have to this person, how can I help my other friends? It's also using your voice to elevate your friends in their space too. It is, hey, Diva Cakes, let me share this. I also feel like if I have a platform where I can share you, bring you guys on because you're my people, then that's using your voice for good too. Because I'm not only am I here, but I'm like the Wayans family to me is like the epitome of not only using your voice for good, but if I eat, we all gonna eat,
Right.
and that's how I feel
Correct.
Shout
about
out to
using
the
your voice.
Wayans family.
Yeah.
Listen, because those men can do no, the whole family can do no wrong. But Marlon, hey, Not like that.
Damon.
Somebody tag him.
Damon, she said,
Oh,
Damon.
Damon's at Silver Fox now. Hey, Daddy.
That's not how I meant it.
Oh,
I'm just saying I
okay.
grew
That's
up
how,
on him.
That's how I meant it.
That's not
You
how
know
I
what I'm saying?
meant it. It's just Marlon is the closest in age to me, so I feel like that's my guy. But like that,
Damon
is
can
that
get
just, okay, we all gonna eat, we all gonna sit here. If I can help you in some way to achieve your goals and to achieve success, that's where I'm gonna voice my use
Yeah.
whatever I have, platform,
Yeah.
voice, whatever, to help you elevate. And also, if I know of something like, I didn't get to go to this event, but I sent it to one of my girls. I was like, this would be a good networking platform for you. Here you go. That's also, I could have kept that to my damn self. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I didn't. I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Or
But
like,
here you go, baby
Like
girl.
with me,
Like,
if I have a cake order, for example, and I can't do the
Yummy.
cake order, I'm going to refer to one of my baking sisters. And like, here, girl, you ain't got to pay me nothing. Go ahead and get this money.
Respect to
Are
that.
you available?
That's-
And they've done that to me,
Yeah.
too. So I appreciate that's what you're saying. You lift everyone up because there is enough money out here for everybody to eat.
Thank
Please,
you.
please, can somebody
Get
mind
your bag.
Thank you.
Why you gotta hinder me from getting my bag, and vice versa? We can all
Correct.
succeed. So that's
Correct.
where your friends and
Yeah.
your network and your
right.
community, you lift everybody up. And that's why I don't understand the state of this country, not to get political, but the state of this country is where the richer get the richer instead of if you
all have-
bring everybody up, everybody flourishes and the country flourishes as a whole, but for whatever reason, we can't get there.
It's
So
that hater
we start
mentality
with
in
the
general. Yeah.
right. So
For
start
real.
with your immediate community, and hopefully it'll spread from there. That's the best way to go about it.
Rising tide raises all ships, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
So why can't we all?
Yeah,
You know what I
right,
mean? Yeah,
it's
I
nothing wrong
agree.
with that.
I think I like my job because of that reason. I talk about, well, I'm a case manager at a law firm, so I help people with their car accidents specifically. And I get to take out my frustrations on people, but justifiably, because this
said
person
because
needs
they
me to
deserved
be
it.
an advocate for
Yes,
them.
yeah.
And so I get to
Use your voice
advocate
for
for a
good.
stranger.
Correct,
Use
yes.
my voice for good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's true.
that dominant voice that I do have in this space, in that arena, in industry, it works.
Annihilating them.
Yeah.
It gets
I
the
just,
job done.
yeah,
So
I feel
do
like that. That's also why I started this. Like real talk, real conversations is like, okay, so I can use my voice. I could come on here and we could just talk about nonsense all day, and sometimes we do because we all need nonsense, right?
Cheers to
But
that.
sometimes we need just for me to give somebody a voice. Like I've had people on here who were literally dying of cancer. I've had here people like, so it's like, not only do I give it to my other women, but how, as a woman, can I help give that voice? I know what it's like to be muted. I know what it's like to not be heard, seen, understood. So if I made one person, one human being do that, then I feel like I've lived a perfect life. Because you could get into nuances of like imperfect, but that's a beautiful thing to know that someone else felt heard, seen, understood.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
really
I
what
agree
I'm
with that.
about. Yay!
Touching somebody
We're
in the
getting deep.
community.
Okay. What's this one? Oh, this was just
Oh, we're going to
funsy.
men.
Yes.
You
What do you
wish
wish
men
men
knew
knew about women the most? And it could be like
Anything.
personal you.
Yeah, right.
We'll
It
go
could
around
be
the
all
table.
kinds of
Whoever
things.
wants
I'm
to start
last.
first. So we'll start for
goodness.
you, Miss Jennifer.
Jennifer, you go ahead, because mine going to be a minute.
Oh, hell. Where did I start?
I really wish they would just really listen to ladies. Like, they don't really genuinely listen or take in what that lady is saying, especially in relationships. They kind of overlook you. You
Your feelings.
you're not, your feelings, your everything that you would like to say or to speak out, and it always gets taken out of context if you do say something, so that's the only problem that I would see that's major for me, that has impacted me in relationships with guys. And I can tell also just dealing with the chapters and the organizations that I deal with. I would also say that that's a huge thing. They don't really listen to women, their thoughts, their concerns, anything that they want to do, their ambitions, their goals. They don't listen.
So, question. Why do you think that is?
It's
that's
the
what I was
male
gonna
ego. I was gonna say it could be a little bit of the male ego. It could be how they were raised, their environment. I'm not really sure, or how many people that have told them throughout, hey, you're right, they're wrong, something like that. I'm not really sure, but they don't listen sometimes, you know. And sometimes you have to just let them fail on their own sometimes, you know. So
So I
that's
got
what happens.
I'm gonna interrupt just real quick because I do have something to say. Because I agree with that, but to a certain extent.
Yeah.
The only reason I disagree is because sometimes it's about how we communicate it
That too.
to them.
That too.
I think things get misconstrued 100%. I'm with you there. But it's also playing devil's advocate to a man. We gotta be more vocal in being direct.
And less, I can't believe I'm about to say
Assuming.
this. Less assuming, less emotional.
There you go. Yes.
Because
Even though we are,
They do.
shut down.
They do.
So they
They
don't
do
allow
shut
us
down.
to communicate. 'Cause
They do shut down.
And then also they assume we're going to be emotional.
Correct.
So
Yes,
they
that
shut
right there.
down before we even get
There
to
you
them.
go.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
With that to a certain
But
extent.
in me, this is something I work my tone
Yes. Yes.
and how,
How
we
do you want
communicate.
someone to listen when you're yelling at them?
Yeah, you can't really.
You have to communicate properly.
Yeah.
Now, do I feel
Yeah.
like they could do? And I hate to generalize men because I know men.
But there's a
that are
certain generation.
correct.
There's a
Correct. I
certain,
agree. That too.
There's a certain
That too.
type of man, not all men,
Not
but there
all.
is.
Yeah.
We
No.
can spot them.
No.
And they are clear
There's
about
certain
who they
ones.
are
I'm not-
and
yes.
their intentions
Yeah.
of how to treat a woman.
So,
there is a generation.
What would
a
you?
group
What
of
would
them.
you? Summarize this because I know you, and we will be here till tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to keep it brief-ish.
This is why we friends, and I can tell her
Only one thing.
Because she's gonna
Only
get
one-
passionate.
Only one thing.
If you could
Okay.
choose one topic
Damn it, one
that
thing.
you would want
Okay.
men to know about women.
Ooh, that's so tough. one.
Okay.
So hers is listen to me.
Do
basically.
not
Yeah.
put all women in the same
you.
category.
Thank you.
We are not all the same. Just because the last woman you were with did not listen to
I don't
you
got no wine.
or take your feelings into consideration doesn't mean that I'm going to do that.
I agree with that to a certain extent.
Just because
The last girl like to be fucked like this. That okay. I'm just.
You money.
but you just saying
Happy.
whatever
Wow.
past
We're not all the
relationship, and this
same.
is easier said than
Now I
done.
know what I want to say.
Because women
Thank
do
you.
it too, I guess. Yeah.
It's easier
We
said
do.
than done.
We do.
We
We do
have
it too.
relationships traumas. I
do.
get that.
We all
But
do.
we should use that as a learning lesson, not as a staple.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
I
So
agree with that.
Growth.
that's what I
I'm
wish
drinking
men
wine.
would do. Okay? Because I am a fucking good woman.
You want some?
But just
Passing it
because
like it's
the
a
last
drug,
girl
everybody.
did this A, B, and C, maybe I'm going to do BCA. You don't know.
Or I'm gonna hit C. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's
I
what
know.
I'm saying.
Or D.
Change the stroke.
Anyway, we're going to change.
And we're not
Girl.
saying this is not to bash, you know.
It's
at
not to
all.
bash.
No,
because
and I want.
I just wanna
like,
say that.
why I ask this question.
Yeah.
I'm not a man basher. I love my men. and
yes,
everybody knows that. Like I
yes.
really celebrate my men.
Yes.
Depends on the day for me, but go ahead.
I do. You know why? Because I know
I celebrate the
beautiful,
worthy
strong
men.
fathers, uncles, grandfathers.
Right.
I also know terrible. But I grew up where it's a weird thing coming from a girl that was sexually abused by men, obviously. But it is a very weird thing to have that and at the same time have some of the most beautiful men I've ever met in my childhood too. So I was a very confused person, but I have chosen to see the ones that are the strong, beautiful men. I have chosen to surround myself with that. I have chosen to only really pay attention and focus on that, because those terrible men, the ones that do, I mean, and there's women like that too, but we're going to focus on the men. The ones that do these horrible things is the small pot, right? I'm going to
Yeah,
think of it as
very
generation, like the
Very
general,
small.
right? And in general, there's a lot of beautiful men. It may not be. You don't gotta agree, but what I'm saying, look
It's
at
small.
Devonna.
It's
Why
not
I'm
that
saying
many.
this is that
Okay.
your daddy wasn't a beautiful man.
No, my daddy was a beautiful man. My
Exactly.
brother is a good,
Wonderful.
beautiful
Correct.
man.
So I'm just focusing
So
on
there's-
that.
Yes.
And I would
Because we
love to
could
just
focus on the
focus.
shit.
I would
Yeah.
love to
Yes.
just focus on that.
Yes.
When I would love to, but you get bashed over their
out to the
head.
Beastie
Get it. I get it.
With
Believe me.
the
back-to-back
bullshit.
experience.
I get it.
Back-to-back experience. And
That
for
is
me,
true,
I'm
man.
trying to practice
It's
what I
true.
preach. Just because the last nigga... Ninja Turtle, thank you, Tootie. Shout out to Tootie. The
ninja.
last Ninja Turtle was a coward.
Correct. Doesn't mean they all
I
are.
reject
Does
your
it-
hug.
Doesn't mean I need
and
that
the
on a
word-
t-shirt too. Just because the last man was a coward.
Imani sunglasses in the back.
Yes, just the sunglasses. I reject your hug. Don't
just
steal
saying.
mine. Don't steal. I'm gonna trademark that. Anyway, so just because the last man was a coward doesn't mean that the next one will be. I really
But
teach.
chances
but
are.
chan-
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I don't think they're all
70-30.
like that.
You know,
I don't think they're all
go
like
to
that, but
Imani.
they are not.
Let's
Okay,
get to
I'm done.
Imani's answer. I want to know, what do you wish men knew? And it doesn't have to be like a dating situation.
Honestly,
No,
it's
it
just in
doesn't.
general.
I
it could
thought
be
about it
general
when I
for
said that.
anything.
I would like for a man to get to know me specifically sexually
Wait.
and not assume that I'm going to like the same things that
Oh,
the
okay. I
last
did not know where
person-
you were going.
Right.
And okay, so it don't.
Right.
It kind of goes hand in
Right,
hand.
back
right,
into
that's
listening.
listening.
It goes
Okay.
back into
It goes back to
listening.
your point, goes
Right.
to my point,
It's
and
just
to your
within
point.
it.
Yeah.
I
And
might
not
be the
to-
odd man
yeah.
out here.
And not to
Damn.
be
Yeah.
That's okay.
intimidated or frustrated if I say I don't like that. Could you do it this way, or change it up?
Just
or
owning your sexuality and
Right.
them being okay with
owning
that.
my sexuality, not yours.
Because everybody's
mine.
different, for sure.
And if you don't like it, kick rocks.
Yeah.
If you can't do that for me,
Dang.
if you can't take my needs into
And it not
consideration,
to
As-
hurt your
as they
ego
should, though.
so
As they
badly.
should.
that
But it's
not- it
you-
I think
shouldn't
it
work.
can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
vulnerable
nothing. I'm sure it's
sometimes,
nothing
so,
crazy.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It might
not
be,
big.
but
I
even
don't
if
know.
it is something
But-
crazy,
It happens.
that's what you want.
Yeah.
And if they can't provide it, kick rocks.
Or my last girl, she didn't have. I never had any problems
never
with
had
this.
to do
Oh,
that.
God.
I've
never heard
Oh
these
wow!
things, guys.
Yeah, and me
You
either.
don't like it this way?
Never
We
heard
can't
these
bring
things.
anybody
Then
else
go to
in
your
there.
last. Then go to your last girl.
So I'm gonna tell y'all mine.
Let me-
and
okay,
it's
go
so
ahead, I'm
different.
sorry.
Mine was sex.
She
Be
said
open.
mine is
Be
open.
open.
I'm sorry,
lost
Mom, if
control
you're
of the
listening to
show.
this, I apologize.
My mama is listening.
So there's a line. There's a line. Actually, I'm wearing her. Lauryn Hill in one of her songs, "Pride and Ego in Love and War is fucking reckless." And I say that because I think what I wish men knew is that truly, in order to love and be loved correctly, you gotta take your ego and your pride aside.
Ooh, that's a word right
And,
there.
That line is one of my favorite lines because it's fucking reckless. And I hate to it is. You can't love, and to any extent, it doesn't have to be in a
Yes.
relationship. It's just in general. You can't love your fellow brother, your fellow friend, if you really are with a chip on your shoulder and an ego so big, like you can't even see the things in front of you. So
Or you can't
that
see
is
that
a-
you're doing
it's-
anything wrong.
Correct. It's a bar for me, and it's like a literal life lesson. Pride and ego,
Yes.
when dealing with love, is reckless in any capacity, and that's what I wish men knew. Women too, but men.
The men.
Yeah,
okay.
because it's and
Yeah.
sometimes you can love someone so
And it's out of love.
They can love someone so deeply in their own way,
Yeah.
but because they have been hurt by the ex, or they have been hurt by trauma is real for men too, and they don't talk about it, and
Yeah,
they
it
got to
is.
act tough and rough
Yeah.
because society again tells them to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Then it's not. It's also like they want to love you, but they just can't because they don't know how to let down that guard.
They don't know how to be vulnerable.
Correct.
And it
that's
don't feel
all
like
of
it's a
that,
safe
yeah.
space to be vulnerable.
And you got to give men safe spaces if
Yeah.
you want them to love you. That's just point
Correct.
blank and period.
Right.
It's not fair for them to feel unsafe in a relationship either.
It is. It's true.
But, dang, guys. I feel like I had this was girls' night for
real
real. Because
girls'
with
night.
Giovanna,
Girl time.
this is what we do: is drink wine
Yeah,
and talk.
drink wine. See, and I was very good today. Last
you?
night, I was PG-13 today.
Ooh, I was not.
What? So Jennifer, thanks for being PG-13 while these delusional girls thought they were.
I didn't know we were supposed
Now
to do
you know
that.
I
It's-
could get.
it's-
I could get
I didn't know
much
that.
worse. I was on my
It-
best
hey.
So
behavior
your
today.
PG-13
I
is
loved it,
NC-17? Is that what we're
Loved it.
saying?
I was
Isn't
not
it awesome?
NC-17
No, you weren't.
today. I was very good.
It's
Now,
good to be
before the
around
camera
that.
came on, that's a whole nother story.
Correct.
But
I love your glasses.
So, I love this love. Everybody loving on each other. Listen, I want you individually.
Hello, ladies. Melissa says hello, ladies.
Hi, people. Who what?
Melissa.
My boo.
The T says hello, ladies.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen out there, we love you. Listen, so now, and I really want to tell everybody to kind of sell yourself a little bit. A couple minutes to, hey, where they can find you, what you about, like, sell yourself. So I'm not gonna do it because I'm always here. We'll start with you, Monty, and work our way through. Just tell them if you want to share your handle on IG or whatever social platform. If they want to find you, how can they find you? Or if you don't want them to find you, you can skip this. But, you know,
I'm a Leo, so I want to be seen.
I know. I asked you first.
1,000%.
I asked you first.
That's why she's going first.
Bunny. That's MANIBUNNIE. That's
And
for
that's
Instagram.
the short one. That's the short one. Woo!
I meant nickname, but she's not gonna let it go. And see,
I won't.
that's all right. That's all right.
That's all you got?
At least you didn't call me fat. And then that's all.
Okay, that's all. So you, what is it? Monty Bunny. Okay. So Hannah, please sell yourself because this girl done
I love you so much.
with her short name.
Oh my goodness. All right, everybody. You can find me. I am the owner of Diva Cakes. That's Diva with an E, DEVA, Cakes with an S. Find me on IG at Diva Cakes Sweets with an S. Because everything, I add that sweetness to your life, baby. Yes. Diva Cakes is celebrating 10 years this year. Hey, so please hit me up for all your wedding cakes, celebration cakes. Even if you got a sweet tooth and need something for that midnight stack, I got you.
She even does little snackies too.
The little jars, you know, for those people who are a little serving conscious, you know.
My
have a
favorite-
little put it aside.
My favorite
jar
is the
ain't
sweet
no serving.
potato.
Sweet potato pound
cake
cake,
with Biscoff
baby.
crumble.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
that is
Tell
delicious.
me, stop talking dirty.
You know, I talk dirty
We're on
to you through
national
my
TV.
sweets, baby.
All right.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jennifer.
She did a whole sex commercial.
See, I told you. I can be worse, but go ahead,
know you
Jennifer.
could.
All right. Well, you can find me at JENN Mitch 48. I am on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm a part of a organization. Well, you know,
Go ahead, girl.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the little Barry White type talk. You know,
She's
like
doing
I-
that midnight love voice.
Had a sister.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's get it on, baby.
You can actually find me on there. And of course, I have another company called Malopulent, and I'm president over an organization. But you can find me at JENN Mitch 48.
I'm sweating.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, listen again. I want to talk about this real quick. Aspired Podcast does not condone any violence of
was
any
playing.
kind. And I am not paying these sex workers. Okay, please and thank you.
Damn.
No, not that you guys were, but I'm just saying we don't do that here.
I thought you were. I'm like, man, they get paid for this.
Well, I'm out of here. Delete this.
All
My
right.
name off.
I always forget to do this, but guys, I have merch. I have merch, people. Go to my website. It is aspiredpodcast.com.
Hey.
And you guys can get I have to learn to sell myself. I love selling my friends, and that sounds terrible.
Get that
but
merch,
you know what I mean?
y'all.
But yes, get you one. I think I'm gonna do and we have sponsorship podcasts. You saw that girl? You sponsorship packages, please reach out to me
Love it.
at aspiredpodcast@gmail.com. You can go onto the website, aspiredpodcast.com. You can DM me, I guess. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
DM her.
But Aspired Podcast at Aspired Podcast. I'm Aspired J. If you want to reach out as well, please don't DM me. Hey, girl. Hey, beautiful. But you could say like, hey, let's do business, and it'd be really about business, and I'll respond. I love you guys. Thank you for having tough conversation. Thank you for Umani for her first tears on the show. It won't be her last.
I never did that.
She never did that. She was choking on a cracker. I appreciate you guys. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses in the warrior.